Hello, my mathematicians. Today we are going to review all of the different statistical measures that we've been talking about. So, mean, median, mode, range, interquartile range, or IQR. Those are our big five. All right, so first, let's talk about median. Median is the middle number, as we know. It tells you, are you in the top half or are you in the bottom half? Meaning it's a measure of center because it puts them both in two groups, the data in two groups, top half and bottom half. To find the median, you put the numbers in order, which over on the side here, both sets of data are in order. And then you just eliminate one from each side until you find the middle. So, for instance, I'm going to take off the 1, then the 9, then the 3, then the 8, then the 3, then the 7, and I would have 6 in the middle for my median. But now, say there's an even number of values, meaning we would split this 4 values in the bottom and 4 values in the top. That means your two middles are 4 and 5. When that happens, you need to add and divide by 2. So 4 plus 5 is 9. Divided by 2 would give you 4.5. All right, now for mean. Mean is another measure of center. Another word for mean is average. It tells you, are you above average or are you below average? In other words, if everyone were equal, what would they be? To find the mean, you add all the data together and then you divide by the number of values. For instance, on the bottom here, we have 4 snowstorms and we want the average snowfall. How many inches did it snow on average per storm? I would add up all of these values. 2 and 4 is 6, plus 5 is 11, plus 1 is 12, divided by 4 values would give us an average of 3. So that is mean. Now for range. Range is a measure of variability. Measures of center, like mean and median, split things into two groups. Range tells you how consistent the data is. Meaning, is everyone together or is it all over the place? To find the range, you subtract the highest and lowest value. So for instance, in this data set here, we have the highest value of 45. The lowest value is 2. 45 minus 2 is 43. So that is range. All right. Interquartile range is the range of just the quartiles. And sometimes we need to do this because we want to eliminate any stray values on the end. Because if you have stray values on the end, it's going to make the data look less consistent than it is. So to do that, we're going to split the data in half. So for instance, in this example 1 here, we have 6 numbers, so we're going to split it 3 and 3. The upper half, or Q3, is the middle of the upper half, which is 12. The middle of the lower half, or Q1, is 7. So subtract the 2. 12 minus 7 gives us 5. Now for if there's an odd number, so say there's 7 values, that means that there's one central value in the middle. It is not going to go in the upper or lower half. It's just going to be the splitting point. So we still have 3 values in the upper half and 3 in the lower. Q3, or the upper middle, is 18. Q1, or the lower middle, is 8. 18 minus 8 is 10. So that is interquartile range, or IQR. You subtract the quartiles instead of the highest and lowest because it eliminates the strays. Now for mode, which is the most popular or frequent answer. In other words, which appears the most. There can be one mode if only one number appears the most. There can be multiple modes if there's more than one number that appears the most. or there can be no mode if they all show up the same amount of times. So for instance, in our data over here, 9 would be the mode because it shows up 3 times. Everything else only shows up once. All right, so now that we have practiced that, let's put this into context. The following shows the ages of 6 people in a restaurant. What is the mean or average age of people in the restaurant? So remember, to get mean, you add, and then we're going to divide by the number of values, which in this case is 6. So first we're going to add them together. I like to kind of group them. So I'm going to do 20, 60, 30, and then 35, 40, and 35 again. 2 and 6 is 8, plus 3 is 11. 5 and 5 is 10. Carry a 1. 4. Oh, these are actually both end up being 110. And now I'm going to put those together. 110 and 110 is 220. So our sum is 220 of all the data. Now we're going to divide by 6 because there are 6 values. All right, 6 doesn't fit into 2, but it does fit into 22 3 times. 6 times 3 is 18. Subtract, you get 4. Bring down a 0. 6 fits into 40 3 times. Nope, sorry, 6 times. 6 times 6 is 36. Subtract, you get 4. We can't just leave a remainder of 4. We're going to add a decimal and 0. All right, 6, and put the decimal up here. 6 fits into 40 6 times. 6 times 6 is 36. Subtract, you get 4, and then the zeros are going to keep going. So this mean would be 36.66 repeating. Or you can either do the dots or put the bar above the 6. All right, now let's go to the next. All right, so we still actually have the same data set, the people in the restaurant. But now we are being asked, what is the median age of people in the restaurant? So the first thing we need to do is put the numbers in order. All right, I have 30, and I'm going to cross them off as I go so I know that I got them. Oh, sorry, 20 goes first. That's why we always double check. Then we have 2 35s. Cross them off. 40 and 60. All right, there are 6 data values, and I wrote 6 numbers. Take one off of each side up until you get to the middle. Here, when I get to the middle, there isn't one. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the 2 numbers that we get in the middle and divide by 2. 35 plus 35 is 70. Divided by 2 is 35. So again, your median would be 35. Because when you get to the middle, we have the 2 35s. Add them together, you get 70. Divide by 2, you get 35. All right, so that is median. What is the range of ages of people in the restaurant? If we remember, to get range, we do the highest minus the lowest. So right now I'm looking for the highest number, which is 60. Subtract the lowest number, which is 20. 60 minus 20 gives us 40. All right, so that is the range. Now let's move on to IQR, or interquartile range. The first thing I need to do is put the numbers in order. 20, 30, 2 35s, 40, and 60. Again, there's 6 numbers. I wrote 6 down here. Since there are 6 numbers, I can split it 3 and 3. Remember, IQR is the range of the quartiles. 40 is our upper, 30 is our lower middle. So 40 is the Q3, which is the upper middle. 30 is Q1, which is lower middle. 40 minus 30 gives us an IQR, or interquartile range, of 10, which is much different from the range of 40, meaning that if you take out those strays, it's actually a lot more consistent than it looks. All right, so now for mode. All right, what I like to do for mode is write down the numbers I see and how many times I see them. So I see 20 once. I see 60 once. I see 30 once. I see 35 twice. Sorry, it's a bad 2. And I see 40 once. So that means here that the mode is going to be 35 because it shows up more than the others. All right, let's move on. All right, so now we have a different data set. Shows a student's score on 7 quizzes. So we have 7 numbers. What is the student's mean or average quiz score? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to add, and then we're going to divide by 7 quiz scores. All right, I like to kind of just group them together. Let's do 70, 90, 95, 80, 80, 90, and then we'll take those and we'll add them with the 85. Sorry, that's a terrible 8. Okay. 5, 18 plus 7 is 25. So our first group is 255. 9 is 25. Right? 17 plus 8. Yes. Okay. So our second group is 250. Then we need to add in the 85. I'm sorry, that 8 is actually, I'm going to fix it because it's driving me nuts. All right. And we're back. Okay. On the end, 5 and 5 is 10. 6 plus 5 is 11. Plus 8 is 7. No, 19, sorry. 1 and 2 is 3. Plus 7 is 10. So all of the quizzes together add up to 1,090. And we're going to divide that by 7. Again, because there are 7 quizzes. All right, 7 does not fit. Wait, something happened here. Oh, sorry. 1 and 2 is 3 plus 2 is 5. 590, not 1,090. I knew something didn't seem right. All right, ignore that. Sorry about that, guys. All right, 7 fits into 59 8 times. Put an X over the 5 because it doesn't fit. 7 times 8 is 56. Subtract, we get 3. Bring down a 0. 7 fits into 30 4 times. 7 times 4 is 28. Subtract, we get 0. Decimal 0. 7 fits into 20 twice. 7 times 2 is 14. Subtract, you get 6. And this would just kind of keep going. Bring down another 0. 7 fits into 60 8 times. But we can just stop at 2 places there. This would just keep going for a few more places, but we don't need to deal with that. And again, I apologize for my adding mistake over here. Again, it should have been 590, not 1,090. But our mean in the end is 84.28. All right, now let's find the median. So I need to put the numbers in order. Our lowest is 70. Then we have two 80s, two 90s. Oh, I forgot an 85. Let's do this. So that's an 85. And then 95. All right, take one off of each side until we get to the middle, and you have 85. So our median is 85. All right, let's keep going. All right, what is the range of the students' scores? All right, highest score is 95 minus the lowest score, which is 70, and you get a range of 25. And that is the range. All right, now interquartile range. All right, again, put them in order because, again, we need to find the quartiles, which requires putting the numbers in order. And 95. Oh, whoops. All right, so 85 is our split. Remember, when there's an odd number, the one in the middle does not get accounted for. Our upper middle is 90, lower middle is 80. Subtract, you get 10. So our IQR is 10. All right, last slide. What is the mode? So again, I like to, and mode is most, I like to write down all of the numbers and write down how many times I see them. 70 I see once, 80 I see twice, 90 I see twice, 85 I see once, 95 I see once. So in this case, there are two modes because 80 and 90 both show up twice. All right, we are going to stop here. Good job. And good luck on your quiz.